The announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected President and Vice President of the United States.
It's official. Very early this morning, Congress certified Joe Biden as the next U.S. president. The count went late into the wee hours of the morning following a violent attack on the U.S. Capitol. Rioters loyal to the president broke into the people's house and disrupted the votes count.
Yes, Rennie, the Capitol was under siege for hours yesterday, forcing lawmakers into hiding before they were evacuated by police. This is a live look at the Capitol, where there's now a heavy police presence. The Defense Department has formally activated roughly 6,200 members of the National Guard from 6 northeastern states to support the Capitol Police and other law enforcement in Washington. Thank you for joining us this Thursday morning. I'm Savannah Louie.
Good morning, I'm Rennie Knott. Yesterday's storming of the Capitol building turned deadly. 4 people died during the chaos. Our Ryan Dean recaps the moments where things took an ugly turn at the Capitol.
The curfew in Washington, D.C. ended at 6 a.m., but NBC News reports D.C.'s National Guard will be mobilized for 30 days, and a state of emergency will continue until after Joe Biden's inauguration. Let's get you caught up on the very latest. New video this morning of the mess and damage left behind inside the U.S. Capitol building. Paperwork and files on the floor, shattered windows and flipped over furniture. This after 3 hours of chaos in our nation's capital. These are some of the powerful images of the drama that unfolded Wednesday afternoon after rioters stormed the Capitol. New numbers released overnight by police. 4 people killed, 14 officers hurt, and 52 arrests. Police say half of those arrests were at the U.S. Capitol building. The FBI is asking for any evidence people have so they can charge those responsible. One of the fatalities includes a San Diego woman shot by Capitol Police as rioters tried to break into the House chamber. Police are saying the other 3 deaths were from medical emergencies that are not firearm related. By nightfall, it was a much calmer scene. Protesters remained outside the Capitol holding signs and flags. Police officers in riot gear shoulder to shoulder.
Ryan Dean, 5 on your side.
Enough has been done here today already to try to strip this Congress of its dignity. And these objectors don't need to do any more. We know that that attack today, it didn't materialize out of nowhere. It was inspired by lies, the same lies that you're hearing in this room tonight. And the members who are repeating those lies should be ashamed of themselves. Their constituents should be ashamed of them.
That's just some of the outrage spoken by lawmakers during last night's session. The Democratic Representative Connor Lamb of Pennsylvania speaking out against President Trump and the other members of Congress who claimed election fraud. The fallout continues as other top leaders speak out. Our Ryan Henson has been tracking the now certified president-elect Joe Biden. Ryan, has he said anything yet? Released any statement this morning?
No, he hasn't said anything this morning, but we are expected to hear from him by noon today. But Donald Trump, we have heard from him. Here's the White House statement. Even though I totally disagree with the outcome of the election and the facts bear me out, nevertheless, there will be an orderly transition on January 20th, says Donald Trump. Trump agreed to the statement after being advised of the dismay and disgust among many of his aides amid many resignations. The first time we've heard from him since the silencing on social media following the storming of the Capitol. Yesterday, Twitter and Facebook locked his account, Twitter saying it will be unlocked when 3 tweets that included false information about the election being stolen are removed, a severe violation of the policy. The Twitter ban has since been lifted. The statements, though, are the same rhetoric that fueled the mob that stormed the Capitol. A permanent lock could happen if the tweets aren't removed. Snapchat, Instagram, and other platforms also banned the president yesterday. So it's been radio silence from Trump so far. We haven't seen or heard of a statement from him besides the one that the White House released yesterday, but there's so much more to dive into as the day goes on, so surely we're going to hear from him and other leaders. I mean, there's been talk of 25th Amendment being brought up, obviously the peaceful transition, so a lot more to dive into as this day continues. Ryan Henson, 5 on your side.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Well, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is getting a lot of attention and blame because of his objection to the Electoral College results. Several lawmakers dropped their objections. Hawley, though, did not, but he did condemn the violence.
Because for those who have concerns about the integrity of our elections, those who have concerns about what happened in November, this is the appropriate means. This is the lawful place where those objections and concerns should be heard.
Senator Hawley was the first senator to say he would object the results of several states President Trump lost, even though courts have found no evidence of fraud.
Missouri Republican Congresswoman Ann Wagner is letting her voice be heard. She had already come out against Senator Hawley's objection, and she was inside the Capitol building during the breach. She describes what went on.
This was literally a coup attempt to try and overthrow our democracy, to disrupt the work of Congress, which was today to certify the election and the electors. And we were in the process of that, and they came in through windows and doors with the kind of riot and violence that, and I'm so, my heart goes out to our Capitol Police that were completely overrun.
The Congresswoman says she and a staffer barely escaped to safety.
A group also gathered to protest in Jefferson City. This is just outside the Missouri Capitol building yesterday. So far, we've heard no reports of any injuries or anyone breaching the Capitol there. Governor Mike Pence was asked about the events in Washington during his afternoon briefing.
I am a law and order guy. I don't care what you present to be or cause you're under. You don't violate the law. There's rules and regulations, and you have to abide by them.
Parsons says he does not blame yesterday's incident on President Trump. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has condemned the president's actions. He says, quote, "There is no doubt in my mind that his efforts to encourage a coup represent high treason to this democracy, our Constitution, and all Americans." Pritzker went on to call our president a danger to the nation and called for him to be impeached and removed from office immediately.
There are a lot of developments in our nation's capital. We'll be following them throughout the day, but if you need to get out of the door, be sure to have the 5 on Your Side app with you for updates. It is free to download.